Hello everybody, welcome to Fruitful Trees. I have many different types of fruit trees. I've traveled the world, I've eaten many different types of fruits. And when it comes to what tree fruits the most in my yard or the best fruiting tree that I have, take a wild guess what it might be. I'll give you a chance to think about it. Just something that might come off the top of your head. Yes, it is star fruit. Star fruit. It's currently star fruit season. This fruit fruits maybe 2 or 3 times a year, and the tree gets loaded every year with this. And it's amazing. Here in Florida, these trees grow so easily, I keep having to cut it back. And everybody I know that has a star fruit tree that's mature, literally there's star fruit all over the ground because hundreds and hundreds of fruit each year. And star fruit is just so delicious. And I mean, you pick one fruit and like 4 or 5 fall on the floor. So good. I don't know if you could freeze it, actually. That's one thing I haven't tried yet, but I love to eat these. I just cut off the edges here at the end, the green parts, and I slice them and I eat them. They're so good. You can juice them as well. To me, they're like a flavored watermelon. They're just so good. And the thing is, they're abundant. And when I had a townhouse, and I had only 2 or 3 trees, star fruit was one of them, because for me, I eat fruits and vegetables. That's all I eat, and maybe some nuts and seeds, nothing else. So I wanted to get a food that's going to supply me throughout the year with the most food possible. And there are some trees that have amazing fruit, like let's say sugar apples, but the amount of yield you get per space of the tree, it just might not be worth it, especially if you're relying on the amount of food. However, if you had to pick a tree here in South Florida that's going to give you the most abundant amount of food, see, mangoes are great, but they're only there for a short season once a year. I would say star fruit has to be in that discussion because the trees do wonderful. They don't need a lot of water once they get established. The only issue you're going to have is they get too big and too many fruit. They're delicious, and I don't understand why, because they ship well. When I go to the store like Whole Paycheck or somewhere, Whole Foods, I see these there. They're like green, picked so green. I understand why commercially they pick them green, but I just can't imagine eating them green after tasting them ripe off the tree. But they're so expensive. They're like $2 or $3 for one of these. And it's absolutely amazing because they grow so well and so easily here. Look at this tree. It's just loaded. It's just loaded. I'm under the tree here, and there's just so many. But there's different varieties of star fruit. I've tasted some varieties that weren't sweet, and that could actually give people a bad idea about them. But when you get a variety, I think there's a Kerry variety, one of the sweetest fruits you'll have in your yard. It's not as exciting, believe it or not, as other fruits like, again, sugar apples or even star apples or camitos or mames and even mangoes. All those are more exciting, but star fruit should be up there in the tree that every yard should have if you're looking for just abundance amount of fruit. How many of you watching have a star fruit tree, and what's been your experience with it? So since it fruits so much and so well, I made sure in my townhouse I had one. So when I got my house here, it was right in the middle of my front yard, and I live in a residential area. If people take this, I'm still going to have enough. I'm never going to run out of star fruit. You can go with bags and leave here and still be a bunch on the tree. So I love to share them with my neighbors, and it's really great, a great tree to have. It's just very easy maintenance. No known disease that I know of from the star fruit. It's just great, and so I don't know. Other than being too big and you got to maintenance it each year, I cut it back. Other than that, because the fruit's going to fall on the floor and might create pests and animals, it's almost self-fertilizing because the fruit falls on the floor and the nutrients go right into the ground. But it's, for me, somebody who eats a diet of just fruits and vegetables, it's a great food. Again, 2 or 3 times a year it's fruiting. You don't need a big tree. My neighbor has like a bush and it does wonderful. But they're just so great. Star fruit. If you don't have one, get them. If you didn't know, now you know. All right, everybody, put your comments and questions below. Remember to subscribe and like if you like this video. Until then, have a great day and keep growing.